What's going on, guys? It's Carroll from MyMMAnews.com and Carroll's Corner MMA podcast. I'm joined by Rob Best, professional MMA fighter, who's fighting his second pro fight up in Vermont, right? Vermont?
Up in Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. Oh, my apologies, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
So, Rob, congratulations for turning pro. I haven't really gotten a chance to speak to you since you turned pro. But tell us a little bit about your fight coming up and where you're fighting.
Yeah, so it's for Combat Zone 67. Our team, MBMMA, actually has prior experience with Pete San Antonio. He's one of our pro fighters. He's competed there as well. So this will be my first time in the area and fighting for the event, so I'm excited for the opportunity. Facing Brandon Murat. He's undefeated, pro fighter, and he looks like he's definitely doing well for himself, so it'll be a good challenge for me. Good comeback fight, good revival.
Awesome. And what weight class are you fighting at?
It'll be a catch weight at 150. So I typically either fight 45 or 55. So we'll just do a catch weight at 150 this time.
Awesome. And what have you done since you fought a few times on Cage Wars promotion in the Albany area? Now you made that leap to the professional level. What have you done differently since you've been an amateur now that you're in the pros?
Man, everything. Just whole training's been revamped. I used to just be, toss him to the ground and ground and pound type guy. Obviously, one of my big tools is elbows, which I'll be able to utilize more as a professional fighter. So I'm excited about that. I've been training a lot, competing as well in no-gi tournaments, things of that nature. Just working on becoming well-rounded, not just a blunt force, fighter, actually becoming more technical. Been working on my hands a lot, and that's definitely where I could shine the most by improving my tools. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited about that.
And tell us a little bit about your background for those who didn't really get a chance to see you as an amateur or your first pro fight. Yeah. What is your background in combat sports, and how'd you get into it?
Yeah, so I was a typical story. I was a high school wrestler. I transferred to college wrestling. I wrestled for Oswego State. And, did the deployments with the military, so took some time off for that. Mm-hmm. Came back, started getting into jiu-jitsu. I met up with Duff Holmes out of MBMMA, and I went from just being a punching bag, in the ring to actually becoming a legitimate contender. So I basically just went from being a tough guy to now I'm more well-rounded fighter. So
awesome. Well, once again, thank you for your service to this country. Everyone appreciates that. Tell us, though, how being in the military has kind of helped your MMA career. How do they kind of mesh together?
Yeah, it's funny because I get actually asked that a lot, how they feel about it, because obviously if I get injured, mm-hmm. That's not going to go over well with work. I'm full-time Air Force, so they're encouraging. They all, want tickets to go see me fight. It's been awesome being able to live both my passions, so being able to serve and to be able to compete in the cage as well. And they actually mix a lot better than people would, even realize. So it's gone pretty smoothly. Everyone at work's very supportive, and all excited to see me get my hand raised next month.
Awesome. Yeah, that's pretty cool that you're getting that kind of support, especially from the military.
Yeah.
So now that you're a pro fighter, you're training with under Duff Holmes, who's the head coach, head trainer at MVMMA. For those who don't know, that's Mohawk Valley MMA. What is it? What are some of your goals within the sport? You're a pro now. Where do you want to go? Where do you feel you're at, and where do you have to get to?
Now, when I first started, I just wanted to compete. That was it. I was taking any amateur fight. They would throw me in the pit as an 0-0 against 7-1, 6-2 guys, and just feed me to the wolves. And that was my role when I first started out. Now that I've adapted my game skill and got smarter with the game, Duff has taught me a lot about being intelligent with picking fights, things like that. Not just taking everything they throw your way. Which, don't get me wrong, I'll still do, but just being able to be smarter about my training. I used to just go full live 100% every day. Now it's about picking apart and analyzing my game plan. Basically just getting smarter in the game. Now that I just turned 30, so originally my goal was just to compete. That was it. Now that I'm older, I have a more specific goal, so I want to be able to compete eventually for Bellator, and then work my way up to UFC. So that would be a great platform. If I get to fight for Bellator, that'd be an awesome opportunity. I think that's definitely a good avenue for me.
Awesome. And speaking of taking, I guess, more intelligent fights, tell us a little bit. I'm sure you've watched some of your opponent. What are some challenges that he presents to you in the cage?
What would have been a challenge earlier on in my game set would have been the stand up, his striking. He's got good hands, he's got quick hands. So early in my career, that would have been more of a challenge. But now I've been working my stand up a lot, so I think it'd be a pretty even matchup on stand up. Obviously on the ground, I get you on the ground. It's it's game over. But yeah, so I think that would be a good back and forth in the stand up, and then see where it goes from there.
Awesome. And what's your favorite way to finish someone? Are you looking for that head kick knockout, the one punch knockout, the liver shot? What is the way that you want to finish someone?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that, because everyone's answer is they want a flash knockout.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild, it's exciting, the crowd gets going. But something that means more to me is it's 50. If you knock someone out, you can be like, oh, he got lucky.
Mm-hmm.
He caught me. That's the big thing you hear all the time is, oh, I got caught. The most satisfying finish for me is a submission, because he's either verbally or physically indicating he was the better man today, and there's no excuses. There's no, I got caught, nothing. When you submit, you're actually telling everyone in the crowd he was a better man than me today. So I think that's the most gratifying win for me, is a submission.
I definitely would have to agree with you. I think a lot of people, whether they win or lose, a lot of people always go, oh, they got lucky. They caught him with a quick flash knockout, or they just stepped wrong. There's always an excuse for everyone for everything.
Yeah,
but I agree.
The wind direction,
when you're the wind direction. But when you're grappling with someone, you're definitely enforcing your will on someone, and like you said, when they're tapping, they made that decision consciously or unconsciously by going to sleep. But right. I agree 100% with you. What are some things you want to add to your camp, or you have added to your camp, to make you a better professional? What are the steps do you got to take? Dieting, I'm sure. Obviously, you're in great shape through the military and just beforehand being a former wrestler. But what's that next level that you got to bring it to keep getting there, to go to the Bellator like you're talking about?
The one that I've been considering this for years, because I had really high, big highs in my career. I've had really, slump lows, and I kept wondering over and over again, what was the difference between when I was on the top 4-time defending champion and then when I was on a losing streak? What was the difference? And it was the aggression, it was the hunger. So one thing that I had to feed back into is not overthinking it, overanalyzing it. Obviously, you want to be strategic, but just getting that primal nature of hunger back when you're in the cage. Not just overthinking it, but remember, you're there to fight. You're taking on another grown man that wants to beat you up. You know what I'm saying? So I was watching the videos and the highlights of my old stuff, and just that beast mode, that hunger. So just getting that back in. So when I'm training, utilize it in such a sense that I can get that hunger, you know what I'm saying, and not just being always technical, but mixing up a little bit, taking chances, and just reminding myself of why I'm doing this in the first place.
Awesome. For those watching right now, Rob Best will be fighting in, what's the date again? September what?
September 21st up in Manchester, Rhode Island.
So it's a Friday night, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in the area, definitely get some tickets. Rob, how can they get tickets?
Now, I have them, but they're also available at the door. If they don't want to give me 20% commission, that's fine. You can get them at the door or through the Combat Zone website itself.
No, ladies and gentlemen, go to Rob. Get tickets from him. Support the fighter. Support the fighter. That's what I think is most important. A lot of people, like you're saying, go get tickets elsewhere. Support the fighter. Let him get 20%. He's the one getting in there fighting. Well earned. So go there, get tickets from Rob. Tell us some of the people who are supporting you, some sponsors. What do you got helping you out with camp and stuff?
I got a bunch of sponsors. First and foremost, obviously Duff Holmes taking me in when I was green, and my team, the MMA, they've been, essential for my training. I wouldn't be able to do it without them. I got King Order Chiropractic for all my back issues, obviously being a wrestler for so long. Got Mid City Motors, they've been hooking me up. I got a lot of sponsors, primarily my parents, and just seeing me through this long, hard, exciting journey just really means a lot, seeing their faces in the crowd. And then obviously Jesus Christ for, putting me here in the first place. So
Awesome. Well, Rob, hey, I appreciate you hopping on. Tell us about your fight coming up. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Okay, where can people watch if they can't get to Rhode Island?
now I've checked out the promotion itself, and there are videos available on YouTube for prior events. I'm not 100% sure if those will be available, but they should be, and I'll, obviously release any future information that I get.
Okay, so they're not streaming anything online that you know of as of right now?
I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to give any fake information, so I'll be sure to post it once they release it.
I'll have to do some research, see if I can find anything online, and I'll post it in the article.
You got all the intel. You're the guy. I'm just the fighter.
I'll have to research it. Well, Rob, hey, once again, always a pleasure chatting with you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go see Rob Best fight, definitely do so, and go to him, get some tickets from him. I'm sure he'll mail them to you if you want to purchase them from him. Go see him Friday, September 21st, down in Rhode Island or up in Rhode Island, wherever you're coming from, and check it out. Definitely worth it. Rob, any last words you want to shout out there? Anyone you want to recognize?
I want to tell my opponent he better be ready. That's all I got to say, because I'm bringing out a new man that no one's ever seen before, so I hope he brings it.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm going to definitely check it out some way or another. Last question before I let you go. What's one thing about you that nobody knows but you'd like to share with everyone?
Oh, man. Oh, that's a tough one. I actually despise long walks on the beach. So, I mean, that's kind of personal. So, yeah.
So ladies, long walks on the beach are out of the question.
Actually, one thing that I haven't released yet is that I actually just started going back to school. I'm getting my business degree, and I'm going to be opening a gym within the next few years. So, I haven't released any details or anything about that, but the lifespan of a fighter is only so long, as you obviously know. So I'm also, as I'm competing, I'm also thinking to the future as well. So I'm getting my degree. I'm going to be, obviously working and training, but then also transferring to the coaching, the seminars, opening a gym, stuff like that. So excited for the future.
That's awesome. Hey, Rob, congratulations for going back to school. That's big for you personally. That's awesome. And I'm looking forward to hearing about the gym evolving and coming together in a few years. Hey, how can people follow you on social media?
So I'm on Facebook all day, every day. That's my whole life. So you can find me. I'll post a link from my Facebook page, but that's the only social media I'm on. I don't got time for all that Snap and Insta and all that. So yeah, just follow me on Facebook, and if I got over 5,000 friends, just follow me. You'll be good.
Awesome. Hey, Rob, once again, best of luck on the 21st of September. I appreciate you hopping on and talking with me on the Carroll's Corner MMA podcast. For those who are watching, follow us on social media at MyMMA News or at Carroll's Corner MMA, or myself on Twitter, Giblitz77. That's Jiblitz 77, to follow Rob, as I will be posting stuff of him, his fight coming up, and other things going on. So check it out. Rob, best of luck, and thanks for joining me on the Carroll's Corner MMA podcast.
Always a pleasure. Have a good night, man.